going on? This is Jazz Briscoe with Music.net. I'm here with Candyman187. What's going on, man?
Chilling, man. Just at the studio, hot ass day in LA, enjoying it, sweating.
Nice, nice. Tell me why we're in the studio today, man. What are you working on?
Oh man, we finishing up. We got the double album, which might possibly be a triple now. We're seeing how it goes. We just knocked out 2 joints with Too Short, Jim Jones, bunch of people. We just gotta. It's been work mode the past 2 weeks. We've been in here about 12 hours a day, just knocking shit out. We decided to see how many songs we can get done in 30 days. Right now it's looking like about 24 to 28, so double the triple album.
Just drop some names on us real quick. Jim Jones, all that. I mean, Candyman187. I ain't really heard of you out there. You got all these big names. How'd you do that, man?
Oh man, well I've been in and out the game since I was 10. Started off with Pac and them and just kind of kept going. Had my first deal out of high school. Over the years you meet people, and I learned at an early age that being humble gets you a lot farther than being cocky with a lot of people. As far as people like E40, Too Short, Yo-Yo, all the West Coast people, Snoop, it's a West Coast thing. We want to put the West back on the map. I feel like a lot of people sleep on the West Coast, and one of the things we're lacking out here is unity. It's not one man for himself. It's like everybody's together, and I'm hoping with this album and what we're doing, we could show that. Like, my dream is to, walk up in the Grammys and have the whole West Coast there. It's been years since that's happened, so it'll be a good feeling to just see everybody come out. And, we've had a lot of love, man. People are showing up on the strength, just coming out, doing the music. We're going different ways with it. Like, you got live music, you got straight hip-hop, you got a little bit of rock, you got some pop stuff. Production from Meech Wells, Soul Mechanics, Shock G, George Clinton.
That's cool, man. I hope that works out, unifying the West Coast like that, because that's definitely what we need.
Yeah,
Something I've been kind of seeing trending with that, though. Heard it on that, High Off the Fame track with Snoop Dogg. Got that electro influence going on. How you feel about all that?
It's different. It's definitely different. Like I said, I have a really deep musical background. I mean, I grew up listening, aside from hip-hop, to like Marvin Gaye, Jimi Hendrix, Billie Holiday. A couple of my homies were into the whole house music thing. Like, we saw this joke with them. We'd be like, man, it's just doof, doof, doof,
yeah.
doof, doof. That's all you hear. I was like, man, it's kind of corny at first. And, I started listening to it, and then you hear it at clubs, and you were like, man, this is kind of dope. Yeah. And, being from the West Coast, like, I get a lot of people being like, how are you going to go from, like, gangster music to, like, conscious music to this whole techno electronic? And it's like, man, we party out here
for real. It's a part of the culture.
Yeah, it's part of what we do. We do go to the clubs, we do have fun, and in the end, hip-hop it's drum and bass, man. Yeah. So as long as the drum and bass is right, the rest of it, I don't care what you do, I'll be able to rap on it. So
what's the album called again?
It's If Tomorrow Never Comes, and then kind of second title on is Chasing the Pain. The whole If Tomorrow Never Comes came up when I was talking to my mom's, Yasmin Fula, and she was like, all 3 of my boys, she was referring to Pac and Yak and me. She was like, oh, y'all always lived your life like there was no tomorrow. And I was like, Ma, we were never promised tomorrow. Like, I always say this, it's a miracle I'm still here. Like, if you need proof there's a God, I'm right here. Like, God blessed me to be here. And if it wasn't for him, there's no way in hell I should be standing. And then the Chasing the Pain, I mean, who doesn't? Right? It's like our youth nowadays is so lost and in so much pain, and prescription drugs is like the biggest thing right now. Vicodins, painkillers, and I'm not saying I don't do half of that, but it's like we do all that to numb ourselves to the world, numb ourselves to the situation. Like, I don't want to see this world through sober eyes. It's too much pain. It's too many things going on. It's like, it don't matter if you're from California or New York or Texas, wherever you're from, you're going through a lot of shit in your life. And I always felt like human emotions such as pain, happiness, love, sadness, the will to survive and fight are things that everybody can relate to. So that's where that title came from.
I can kind of hear that in your music too. You're not one of those front rappers just trying to lay something out there and collect some cash. You can really tell that you've been through something. You're trying to spit it out there in your music. I can really feel that.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a road. I was actually just talking to my homeboy about this. I feel like I've lost more people to the music game than I have to life and to the streets. Like I was like, man, we busted our asses all these years for this, to sit here and watch everybody we love fade away or change and become all about money. And I was like, yeah, people want to be my friends now, but yeah, you want to be my friend, but do you really care about me? Like, I tell people all the time, everybody knows Candyman, nobody really knows Sadar. When your whole life you've been told you ain't shit, eventually you start believing it. And that's kind of what I came from. I had to fight for every last thing that I got. Like, nothing came to me easy. Nothing was ever handed to me. I mean, I remember, when we first started doing the music and the labels and everybody, even when Pac first put a song, people were like, you crazy. This kid's 10, 11. What's he gonna do? I had labels tell me, oh, you just ain't good enough. Oh, you know, this music ain't right. It's not pop enough. It's not current enough. You still rap like it's the 90s. You know, and I'm very open with you know, who I am and what I do. Like, I don't hide my drug habits. I don't hide my drinking. I'm fucked up, and I'm proud of being fucked up. Like, shit, you know, walk in my shoes and see if you could be sober. See if you could live like normally you couldn't. So it's like, you know, judge me if you must, but I'm gonna still be me, and I don't believe in hiding shit. It's like, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I'm gonna tell you how I do it. And I think that's where you hear a lot of my anger and pain and kind of that mentality of I just don't give a fuck, because somewhere in there I stopped giving a fuck. It was like somewhere in there I just realized I gotta do me, and either people are gonna support it and ride with me or they're not. And everybody that rides with me, you know, I tell them all the time, like, be prepared for the ride of your life. It's gonna be fun, and whether we succeed or not, at the end of it, you'll be able to tell your kids, you know, I experienced this in my lifetime.
So as far as the music, I mean, are you gonna do a tour? Have you done a tour?
Touring is one of my favorite parts. We haven't actually done a show now since November of last year. I stopped just to get the album together. I felt like one of the mistakes I made, and I feel like a lot of the up and coming artists make this mistake, is we start doing a lot of shows and saturating ourselves in the markets without a product to sell. And coming at this, like, even though I got a deal and I got major label money and backing, I'm not major, I'm independent. I'm doing this independently, and that's partially why I'm able to do the music the way I want to do it. Because of that, it's like I had to kick back on tour for a second and really get it together. Plus, you got to remember, my live show is like a 10-piece band, 14-piece band.
Yeah, I heard
so
about
like
that.
It's rehearsals. Like, it's not just like I grab the mic and get up and go, because like I said, for me, like, especially feeling like putting the West Coast on my back, like, you know, I said it short when I was talking to him. I was like, I want to be to LA what you are to the Bay. Like, I want to be that nigga for y'all. I feel like every show I gotta be better than the next man. I gotta top them, not in a bad way, but I'm competitive and I'm a sore loser. So it's like, when I hit that stage, I want to make sure the whole crowd felt me. I want to make sure at the end of it I killed it. Like, when I used to do shows with major acts and we get off stage and they'd have to put the closing act up before the major act came on because we killed it, I was proud. And so that's my thing, you know. That's why I haven't been doing shows right now, is I'm really trying to put it together. And like, when I do start doing shows again, I think people will really be in for a treat. My security hates it when we do shows, because I'll jump off stage afterwards and I hang out with the crowd. I drink, I kick it with my peoples, because I feel like, look, man, if I can't kick it with y'all, this is where I'm from. If I can't kick it with my people, I'm doing something wrong. You know, everybody want to talk about being real. Well, niggas, stop going back into the green room. Come outside and kick it with your people. You know, the fans is the reason I'm here. I wouldn't be making money if it wasn't for people buying my record, listening to my music, and coming to support me. So who the fuck am I to go back there and hide? I want to kick it with you, have a drink, tell me about your life. I want to know my fans. Like, I really want to be the cat where when my fans see me, they want to sit back and smoke a cigarette with me and talk to me, not want to autograph. It's like, no, I don't want to be that dude. I want to be the dude that you feel like is your homie. That you'll definitely be seeing us do some shows shortly.
Cool. Look forward to hearing it, man. Look forward to the album, double, triple, whatever it's gonna be, man. Thanks for having us out today, man. Really appreciate it.
Dude. I appreciate it. Always a pleasure, sir.
Yep.
Check us out on Facebook.com/official Candyman187. The Twitter is @Candyman187. The official website's Candyman187.com. Pretty easy to remember. You know, request a song, man. Bring it to your local radio station. You know, the way I look at it is they finally let a real nigga in, so let's try to get on top and really do something here. This is Candyman187, round with my homeboys from music.net. Support them, holla at them. They real people, they'll come kick it with you.